Now is no time to discover your ordinary flashlight isn't working.
Come on, Snake Light, and rescue me.
Now you need the Auto Snake Light. Plug it in or run it on batteries. Be prepared. The Auto Snake Light. Very clever, Black & Decker.
I swear I love you. I swear if that guy doesn't stop coughing.
Robitussin cough drops relieve coughs and soothe your throat fast.
These really work.
First coughing, now talking. I can't go on.
Robitussin cough drops from the cough experts.
In the Middle East, U.S. envoy Dennis Ross met tonight with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He's scheduled to meet later with Palestinian President Yasser Arafat. But in the disputed town of Hebron, tensions are still rising. Palestinians clashed with Israeli police today. One man was reportedly beaten unconscious. China is accused of breaking another promise on Hong Kong. China today appointed a new legislature which will replace the elected one next July when Hong Kong is handed back to China. Britain and the U.S. call that a blatant violation of the original agreement. ABC's Jim Laurie is in Hong Kong.
With this meeting, Hong Kong's attempt to establish lasting democracy came to an end. A committee handpicked by Beijing chose a new provisional legislature to replace the current one elected 15 months ago by more than 1 million Hong Kong voters, one that voters hoped would serve through next year's handover. To many, today's move called into question Beijing's promises that present freedoms would be preserved.
Britain has lived up to its share of that bargain. We'll see whether China does.
The next chief executive here argues Hong Kong has no choice but to accept Beijing's will.
I believe it is wrong for Britain and the Hong Kong government to ignore the realities of the provisional legislature.
That reality, however, is a blow to democratic forces. The Democratic Party, voted the most popular here last year, will now lose all its seats in the legislature.
The Democratic movement fears the new legislature will try to muzzle free expression. Already there are plans to pass new laws to legalize the Communist Party and to restrict demonstrations.
An appointed legislature will pass any repressive law which Beijing wants it to pass to give draconian powers to the future government to suppress freedoms in Hong Kong.
China plans to push through the new legislature sedition laws to stop this kind of anti-Beijing rally held annually here. Under China's definition of sedition, these people would be subject to long jail terms for simply showing their opposition to China's leaders. Jim Laurie, ABC News, Hong Kong.
Serbian President Slobodan Milosevic is proving he can also rally supporters. His Socialist Party held pro-government marches in several Serbian towns today. They drew a few thousand people, but that was far fewer than the tens of thousands who turned out again in Belgrade to call for his ouster. The Gulf War was a global conflict, and it looks like Gulf War syndrome is becoming more and more a global problem. Czech veterans of the war are now complaining of the same ailments as American vets. As ABC's Richard Gisbert reports from Prague, they're also complaining about a slow response from their government.
Antonín Štěcher is a Gulf War veteran. He was part of a Czechoslovakian contingent based in Saudi Arabia. Like many Czech veterans, he now complains of dizzy spells, stomach problems, and other classic symptoms of Gulf War syndrome. And he accuses his government of doing nothing for him. They told us we'd be rehabilitated, he says, taken care of. It didn't happen. The Czech troops specialized in chemical detection. Their records show they twice found low levels of toxins in the desert air, including sarin, a nerve gas. They suspect the gases were released when Iraqi weapons installations were blown up. No one really knows, not even the veterans, if Gulf War syndrome is caused by chemicals or something else, such as pollutants from burning oil wells, only that former soldiers are suffering. Fewer than 200 Czech soldiers served in the Gulf War. That's a far cry from the hundreds of thousands of Americans who were there. So it's been much harder for Czech veterans to make their story known. The Czech Republic is also a relatively new democracy, and some veterans have been reluctant to speak out as freely as the Americans. Nevertheless, the Czech government has finally announced that next month, 6 years after the war began, it will review the health of those who served.
What moved me most was their bitterness. They volunteered to serve their country, and their stories must be investigated truthfully.
But some Czech veterans, like Lubomir Šmelek, remain dubious. After all these years, he says, I think the government is just pretending to be interested. In any case, the government's review will be too late for Antonín Štěcher's friend, Jan Huzan. Huzan was a healthy man when he went to Saudi Arabia. Then he developed a sudden and aggressive form of stomach cancer. There may be no firm medical proof, but Czech soldiers believe the cause of his death can be traced to the Gulf War. And like American veterans, they want their country to know about it. Richard Gisbert, ABC News, Prague.
And we'll be back in a moment.
On Super Bowl Sunday, you might huddle up. You might do the wave. Or you might cheer. Because on Super Bowl Sunday, the Publishers Clearinghouse Prize Patrol will surprise a new $10 million winner. So enter the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes today. And on Super Bowl Sunday, you might score.
Here come the discount long-distance sales reps again. They'd like some more of your precious time. Because if you've got a minute, they've got an offer of big savings over AT&T. Just one catch. That offer of big savings may show up at your door, but it won't show up on your bill. Has a discount long-distance company offered you big savings? Call us for the facts.
Breyers has created a spectacular dessert called Viennetta. But this delicious premium ice cream with its crispy, chocolatey layers could cause one small problem. Viennetta from Breyers. One slice is never enough.
Oh, well, I'm the kind of light for your holiday list. I'll help you in so many ways. I'd make the perfect gift, 'cause I'm the snake light from Black & Decker. I get around, I'm the snake light.
You know, heartburn medicines have been around for years. First came Tagamet, then Zantac, then Pepcid. But the newest, Axid, now in non-prescription strength as New Axid AR. The only one that says right on its labeling, for many, it can prevent heartburn completely. That's something 2 Tagamet HB, Zantac 75, and Pepcid AC just don't claim. New Axid AR, proven it can prevent heartburn completely.
Time magazine has named its 1996 Man of the Year, AIDS researcher Dr. David Ho. Time praises Ho's novel work with protease inhibitors, drugs which have showed remarkable success in slowing the spread of AIDS. And now the story of a world champion at the top of his game when tragedy struck. ABC's Armin Katayan has the story of a courageous cyclist's uphill battle.
Lance Armstrong! At 25, Lance Armstrong had won a world championship, the biggest races in this country, on 2 legs of the legendary Tour de France. In a sport dominated by Europeans, America's boy wonder was on top of his world. And then,
on Wednesday, October 2nd, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer.
I don't know. This is not it's not really a cancer about the environment, or a cancer about something I did to cause this. It just happened.
like many athletes, he ignored persistent pain. He had a cancerous tumor in one testicle, which over time spread to his stomach and beyond.
I was shocked and I was upset, but I wanted to fix the problem.
That led to brain and testis surgery and 4 cruel weeks of chemotherapy.
To date, he has done very well. He has hit every benchmark that we anticipated for reduction in his disease.
Some nice things here. You were a true inspiration, hang tough. Is it odd to be an inspiration? Well, you were an inspiration to people when you were riding your bike, I guess.
Armstrong has channeled an overwhelming response to his battle into a wake-up call against testicular cancer, which strikes about 7,500 young men a year in this country.
If we create the awareness or motivate people to have early detection, then we have a cure. Cancer's tough, and if it wants to win, I don't care how tough you are, it's going to win. Yeah.
Armstrong's toughness recently paid off in some holiday cheer. His blood levels are now normal. The spots on his lungs reduced.
This is the very, very best Christmas that I have ever had in my whole life, bar none, that he will be cured and that we'll be blessed with his health from now on.
Are you going to ride again, do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Professionally?
Yeah. I want that real bad. But for all the right reasons.
He spends no more than 90 minutes training now, not 6 hours like before. But the challenges are different, and so is the race.
Right now, I think that I'm cancer-free. But I wake up every morning thinking, well, it could come back today. I'm going to come back, first I'm going to beat the ladies in the neighborhood, and then I'm going to beat the husbands in the neighborhood, and then we'll worry about the rest, and we'll worry about the Tour de France.
Armin Katayan, ABC News, Austin, Texas.
When we come back, faith and new friends help rebuild a Southern church.
Patience, my little one.
I've discovered a new denture adhesive, Super Polygrip with Ultimate Hold. They've really improved the way that it holds.
Ultimate Hold means up to 30% more holding power.
More power so that I can eat more apples. Super Polygrip with Ultimate Hold.
Want a hot way to get more flavor? Get the new Black & Decker steamer. And steam delicious flavors right into your food. The new Flavor Center steamer. Very clever, Black & Decker.
Nighttime's the worst time for my heartburn. If I don't block the stomach acid fast, I don't sleep. So which blocks the acid faster? New Tagamet HB200. It has more acid blockers than Pepcid AC. So Tagamet works faster to block acid. That doesn't mean it's stronger. It's just faster. And it lasts for hours. So I can get to sleep.
New Tagamet HB200. More acid blockers help block acid faster.
By the end of the week, 7 more lives will be saved. By the end of the day, 16 people who couldn't walk will. By the end of the hour, these special filters will help make 25,000 more gallons of water ready for drinking. And by the end of this message, 1 more premature baby will be protected. All of which is made possible with the help of a material we call plastic.
In Los Angeles, O.J. Simpson's children, Sydney and Justin, are back home with their father. They were driven to his Rockingham house today, reportedly in Simpson's suburban van. Simpson says it's where their mother would want them to be. But Nicole Brown Simpson's parents say they fear for the safety of their grandchildren. Simpson was awarded full custody of the children yesterday. Statistics released this week show there have been 136 attacks on black churches across the country since the beginning of 1995. The incidents have fanned the flames of racial division. But this Christmas, in one small town in Alabama, they are rebuilding churches and healing racial wounds. ABC's Deborah Weiner reports.
Boligee may seem like just a train stop in West Alabama. Fewer than 300 people live in this Greene County town. There is just one traffic light, one grocery store, but plenty of faith. This is the first Christmas for the new Mount Zion Baptist Church, a small congregation whose founding members were slaves. A year ago, the old church burned to the ground. Less than 3 weeks later, 2 neighboring black churches were also destroyed by fire. Arson is suspected in all 3 cases, but as of today, no arrests have been made.
I don't like to come to too much because every time I come over here and I look around it, you know, the hurt is still here.
That hurt led to an overwhelming response. Donations and volunteers poured into Boligee. Now all 3 churches have been completed, finished ahead of schedule.
All the blacks in Greene County should have been here. to have seen the way the whites was working to help rebuild our church. It was nothing but love.
There is still a sense of suspicion that lingers here. Mount Zion Church members chose not to rebuild at their old location, rather to move to this site here, which is less than a half a mile away from the Bolaji Fire Department. They are singing the old hymns again, but the new church is different. Members even plan to install an alarm system. And on some days, visiting volunteers join the old members, like this group of college students from Chicago who are working to rebuild other burned churches. For Reverend Levi Pickens, it is a remarkable sight.
Amen.
You're 71,
Right, I am.
and you've never seen blacks and whites worship together.
I've seen on TV, but not here in Greene County. Whatever we thought that would never come to pass, it come to pass.
The little church that did not have a Christmas last year now has something beyond what they prayed for. Deborah Weiner, ABC News, Bolaji, Alabama.
In a minute, hitching a ride with Santa.
Important information for people who take prescription Lodine.
Last week, my pharmacist said,
Ask your doctor about prescription Lodine XL extended release tablets.
Lodine XL?
Lodine XL could save you money.
Saving money works for me.
Ask your doctor about Lodine XL.
Breyers has created a spectacular dessert called Viennetta. But this delicious premium ice cream with its crispy chocolatey layers could cause one small problem. Viennetta from Breyers. One slice is never enough.
Nobody does it like you.
The new Hoover Steam Vac Jr. helps get spots and spills before they become stains.
Nobody does it like you.
Sunday on This Week with Cokie Roberts. Ethical questions on both sides of Pennsylvania Avenue. Democratic fundraising and Newt Gingrich. Sunday.
Only 4 more days until Christmas, and believe it or not, there are reports that Santa has been sighted in New York City. And it wasn't a sleigh he was driving. ABC's Judd Rose investigates.
'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through the city, decorations were up. They were shiny and pretty. But something was missing. Something gave us a pause. Where in New York was Santa Claus?
You know, Santa is Santa, and you know, everybody loves Santa Claus. Everybody wants to have a gift, you know? So they better be good to Santa, and especially in the kid.
Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa in New York, and he drives a taxi.
I'm all over the city at any given time of day. I can be downtown, uptown, east side, west side, spreading the message of, hey, Merry Christmas. Hey, guys. Hey, Merry Christmas.
This Santa isn't from the North Pole. He hails from the Bronx, and his name is Eddie Medina. Once the manager of a supermarket, he got laid off 2 years ago, and he's driven a taxi ever since. It's a tough job in a tough town.
Here, you get the good side, you get the bad side, you know? I said, hey, Merry Christmas to one guy. He thought I was a complete nut, and he stuck his finger out at me. And it wasn't the index finger either.
But he knows there's a soft core in the Big Apple.
Hey, have a healthy and happy New Year.
This is the first time Eddie's done this. The idea, he says, just came to him when he realized how many grumpy New Yorkers were getting in his cab.
Hey, one thing I hate is the guy with the suit and tie that has no smile. You know what happens? He's got the necktie too tight. You know what I mean? Hey, loosen it up, you know, buddy. It's Christmas.
Eddie says he doesn't get paid to do this, and he's not promoting anything except goodwill.
Okay.
And we believe him. At this time of year, who doesn't want to believe in Santa Claus, even if he does drive a taxi?
It's the only time of year where you can really say, hey, I'm going to be good, and you know what? I'm not going to be good just for today. I'm going to try to be good for the rest of the year. And then
there was much more to do, more cheer to be spread, as the sky grew dark and the signal turned red. And I heard him say as he turned on his light, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Judd Rose, ABC News, New York.
And that's World News Saturday. Tomorrow on Good Morning America Sunday, more on O.J. Simpson's custody victory. I'm Carol Simpson. See you tomorrow on World News Sunday. Good night.
What do you get a really big kid for Christmas? Anything he wants.
I blew up the baby.
Do you think this is going to affect him for life?
Honey, it might help him see the big picture.
Rick Moranis stars in the holiday's biggest movie, Disney's Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, ABC tonight.
Got your Christmas ornaments yet? Barry's open till 9 tonight at Sterling by Barry's Ale, Northwest Highway at Central.
Wouldn't you like to go someplace where you can recharge your batteries? Stretch out. Someplace quiet, where even the seat knows how you like things. Somewhere close by, so you can go every day and really enjoy yourself. Well, now you can. The brand new 97 DeVille, the Cadillac. It's here now for the time of your life. See your Cadillac Group dealer.
When it comes to getting holiday gifts, some folks can be scary. So rather than run for your life, here's a better idea. Just tear into a Best Buy, where you won't pay a thing until 1998. And you'll find a monstrous selection of fun gifts. Find the fun in everyone at Best Buy.